My MoonSwatch is I think that's the technical term for it. And because of that, I'd like to retract all of my positivity and support that I originally had for this watch. For those of you who have followed the channel, you'll know that my judgment is pretty spot on. It's not often that I get things wrong, and it's not often that my judgment is out. I still support this idea. The concept of the MoonSwatch, the Omega Swatch collaboration to create a Speedmaster MoonSwatch, I think is a legitimately, without any hyperbole, a pure genius concept. If you've watched the show, my podcast show with Andrew and George, we did near enough an hour of discussing the concept of the MoonSwatch.
MoonSwatch, what's going on here?
Sharing facts around what it's done for the business, both Swatch and Omega, highlighting the fact that both Swatch and Omega both needed an injection of hype. They needed an injection of press and excitement around their offering to drive sales because of issues that they've hit, not through faults of their own, but for example, the continuous postponement of the Bond movie, and Bond is obviously a massive moneymaker for Omega, so that they need that drive of hype. Also, the Olympics didn't get their normal drive of excitement, and therefore Omega didn't get that shining light on them for their publicity. And so both brands needed this injection of hype, which they absolutely got. This was a phenomenal idea and kind of takes the concept of Tudor and Rolex, Tudor being the cheaper version of Rolex or being the more accessible version of Rolex, using Rolex's heritage and popularity and making it more accessible for the working man, which is what Hans Wilsdorf's vision was originally when he started Tudor. So this MoonSwatch concept takes that idea to a more extreme level. The product is more closer to the original Omega Speedmaster Professional, but it is even more cheaper by making it out of bioceramic and using a very cheap quartz movement. That's where the challenge lies. So as a concept, I'm absolutely behind this idea. I think it's superb. I don't think it cheapens either brand. It allows watch enthusiasts who either can't afford or just don't want to spend Omega money on a watch. It allows them to get an Omega design without having to spend that money and legitimately get that Omega design far better than buying a fake watch, for example. It also offers a more playful version of Omega. I absolutely love the MoonSwatch, but I have far too many conservative watches in my collection. I don't need another very conservative watch. This is the complete opposite to that. I'm also a big fan of the IWC Mojave Desert. I feel like this is a poor man's Mojave Desert thing. It's got a very similar aesthetic to it. My challenge has come with this, with my mindset around it, of it being, it's either an expensive Swatch or a cheap Omega. As you can see, the top pusher has broken off. And I promise you, with the slightest touch, it fell off. It wasn't smacked against a door. I didn't hit it against a desk. It was pretty much documented in my latest Oris video.
What? I was gonna plug my NATO strap on my MoonSwatch, but the pusher's just fallen off. That is not cool. I am not gonna find that. Oh no, I did find it.
I literally pulled my hand out of my pocket and the pusher fell off. Now, of course, the pusher could have been broken at some other point, but you can see the build quality in that little pusher. This is a thing that is functional. This is an area of the watch that a hand interacts with. Therefore, it shouldn't be this brittle bioceramic plastic. For £200, it should be far stronger than that. Now, I know this is just a Swatch, and I absolutely don't expect this to live up to the standard of steel. Steel is obviously quite clearly a far stronger material than bioceramic. But for £200, I do expect it to last far longer. There are watches for £200, or granted 250. Seiko 5, you can get these brand new for 250 quid. Pre-owned, you can get Seiko 5 for 50 quid. CWC G10, British Army issue watch. Well, not anymore. This has got a quartz ETA movement inside. It was issued to the British Army for decades and still has exactly the same spec as it did when it was issued to the British Army. You can get them brand new for about 250 quid. So I got mine for 60 quid. I got this about 4 years ago now, so it's the prices have obviously changed. This watch lasted me 2 months. 2 months before it was pretty much rendered unusable. It also looks a bit shit now as well. So that's my challenge. £200 for 2 months, that's £100 a month. We can all do those maths. Now, if we compare that to the Omega Speedmaster Professional with the Hesalite glass on the bracelet, that's £5,710. That has a service interval between 5 to 8 years. If we take it at the lowest, at 5 years, let's say that watch only lasts 5 years and you don't bother getting it serviced. £5,710 divided by 60, which is the amount of months within the 5 years, that's going to cost you £95 a month. So the Speedmaster Professional steel version from Omega is cheaper than this watch. Infinitely cheaper if you get it bloody serviced and look after it, because it will legitimately last you forever. I knew this wasn't going to last forever. It's a plastic watch, a bioceramic watch, which is what Swatch call it. I knew it wasn't going to last forever, and of course, it's not particularly water resistant, so at some point it would die, but I didn't think it would die from such a light interaction and after so little use. I've probably worn this 10 times. So that is really quite an expensive watch. I'm gonna super glue this pusher back on because this is a good looking watch. It doesn't matter if the pusher actually works or not. It's also a brilliant prop to sell my NATO straps that you can get over at barkandjack.com. I am disappointed though, because as a concept, this was brilliant. So not only has Omega or Swatch, I don't know who is to blame, not only has the infrastructure failed the customers because they are so hard to get, but the product, in my eyes, has failed as well, which is a shame because I love the idea. How's your MoonSwatch getting on? Have you broken yours as well? I am annoyed about this because I really did like this. I thought it was, I'm just gonna have to super glue that on. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment down below and let me know if your MoonSwatch is still alive and ticking. Or maybe you're not supposed to wear it. Maybe you're supposed to just put it away and collect it. Maybe that's the whole point. Don't know. Guys, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like the style of this video, then hit the subscribe button down there and that little bell icon so you get notifications when I drop a new video. If you want to check out the podcast that I'm part of, it's About Effing Time. Just search About Effing Time on anything and it will come up. If you're on Instagram, give me a follow at barkandjack. If you want to check out the watch straps and watch accessories that we sell, jump over to barkandjack.com. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.